People, welcome back to Unpopular Reviews Entertainment as we have gone through not one chapter, not two chapters, not three chapters, but four chapters of the man named John Wick. Some who may know him and love him close and hold him dear, Mr. Jonathan Wick. We'll be right back here, guys, on Unpopular Review Entertainment, John Wick reaction and reviews. Where have you been? Keanu Reeves said, no. I'm not just all about the Matrix. By now, y'all should know what I'm here to do, and that is to kick butt and take names. And people, I'm not here alone today. It's a bunch of brothers here today, boy. It's like Black History Month all over again. Welcome back to Unpopular Review, Stefan. Welcome back, Mr. Slick. Only Slick I know is like Slick Rick. And then we got Smile in your face. All the while, trying to take your place. The backstabbers.
And if you've seen this movie, you know exactly why I picked that as my name tonight.
Well, let's talk about it here, guys. We are here for Chapter 4 of John Wick. I would say has it become a cult classic? And where this movie has gone and how it's taking place and the love that people have for this film. It's out right now. It actually shocked me. I saw it on Saturday. This movie's like 4 hours long, right? So you already know by now he's been excommunicado. He's on the run. This time it starts off, this man is in Egypt, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know you guys down there are smarter than me. But he's somewhere where there's pyramids and sand, and he's on horses in the desert in a hot-ass suit, like this guy over here, Tracker over here, wearing a hot suit. And all kind of stuff going on, and that's just where it picks up from. It's just a movie, I believe. Smile on your face. He says it on every show. If I did not see Power Rangers reactions to video yesterday as well, he said, "What do you expect?" It was what it was then. It's what it was now. Talking about John Wick 3, he said, "If everybody ever watched Entourage, this movie probably had 75 pages. Okay, there's no dialogue in this movie. It's all ass kicking. All the credit to me goes to the director who just smashed another great film. But I'm gonna start with you, Mr. Tracker. Your take on Jonathan Wick Chapter 4.
Oh my gosh, I love this movie. I want to first off shout out to Lance Reddick, who actually died during filming of this film. His character died very early on in the film. You could tell that Keanu loves this series. I would put this series above even the Matrix series, for me at least. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I think there is so much spin-off potential with the characters that were introduced. Like, obviously, my nickname is Tracker. There's the Tracker. There is Hiroyuki Sanada's daughter in the movie. That's a potential spin-off. Donnie Kane, who is an anti-hero who we fell in love with, who literally killed John Wick at the end of the film. Spoiler alert. But it was an extremely great time. The movie is supposed to be 3 hours, but it doesn't feel like 3 hours. It actually is a good time. I kicked back. I watched it. I just think there's so much nuance in the movie, and I think an expected end for John Wick. There was really no other way to end the movie without him reuniting with his wife. Plus, we have the Continental, which is Winston's backstory, coming out on FX. And we also have Ballerina, which is a prequel to this movie that he'll be featured in. So you'll still get to see him, but I think for his main storyline, this is a great place to end off the story.
Mr. Slick, I go with you next because I'm going to play executive consultant role there a bit in the show. That one a little bit. But Slick, your takes on Jonathan Wick Chapter 4. I wonder how you saw this film.
Like I've always said, 2, 3, and 4 are literally one long, probably 6-hour movie. And, you just literally pick up where you left off on 3 and just go and continue to ride. You know what I mean? Watching this back, I literally would like to watch them consecutively. I don't think I'll ever be able to have the time for that, to be honest with you. But to watch them all back to back, but it's a fun ride, man. Like just the entire story of the way that they just kept putting more obstacles on it, more and more obstacles, and you know, to put it simply, the more he got away, the more they tried to use the power of greed to get him again. You know what I mean? And it's just, there were some things that were weird, especially like, and mind you, I understand that he has this special suit, but you know, every time he's getting shot at, just him going like this.
I love that part. Honestly.
Like he's a vampire.
Fucking hilarious to me. Like he's getting shot from all over the place, and he's just like putting the bottom part of the coat, and that's all he needs. That's it. Like you know, they're not shooting at his feet, not shooting at his legs, anything like that. You know what I mean? And he's just popping out with guns all over the place. You know, fighting, hitting people. I mean, one of my favorite scenes was that scene with him and Kane, just literally sword fighting and guns at the same time. And
I know how to increase your cash flow.
Have you lost your damn mind?
Who the hell hit the buttons over here?
Oh, I guess that was my 5-minute cue. Sorry. All right.
No, I didn't hit that button. That wasn't me.
Oh, well.
So I mean, you know, whoever's in my room, let's stop hitting buttons. Go ahead. I'm sorry, buddy.
Well, anyway, but long story short, yeah, right.
It wasn't me. I promise you, it wasn't. It wasn't. For once, it wasn't me. I promise you, it was not me. See, he just left. You see, who just left here.
I lost my train of thought now. So, but the bottom line is, it's just like the reason I call myself slick is because the way that the last battle ended was just captivating and incredible. Because like they go through the shots, they go back and forth. Then the one guy, and mind you, the fact that Keanu knew like he was gonna get in his ego and try to do that and try to take the gun and then shoot the last one, that was just beautiful. Kane was just like, "Hey, do I have what I need?" Yes. Okay. Bang. And the other one comes out. What? Yo! I popped so hard for that.
I was waiting on it.
I'm not gonna lie. You see how he was talking about go see it in the theater? Just for that, I'll go do that. You know what I mean? I want to go be in the theater with a whole bunch of people that didn't see it, and then all of a sudden just pop for that, because that was great.
So you didn't see this movie? You didn't see this movie in the theater?
Of course. You know what?
Fly. Just checking.
You know what? It's too fly with all of that.
All right. Well, smile in your face. You've been here for, I think you've reviewed all 4 John Wicks at this point.
Everyone except the first one. I wasn't
okay. So you spoke last week. You couldn't wait to get to this one. You waited to hold things back. For those who didn't see it, I got to see it. No holding back. Your thoughts?
Listen, let's call this series wine because it ages like fine wine. Okay, I'm gonna go in reverse, and I'm gonna start with my MVP. Can we give it up to Akira?
Mm-hmm.
Can we give it? The last episode you saw me on Power Rangers, okay, we talked about somebody who was the anti-MVP in my opinion, and that was the character of Min Kwan, and also / the writer of that character in that movie, okay, because they did her no services. Okay. In this one, whoever wrote for Akira's character did it justice and an homage greatly to the anime of Akira by the same name, okay? My name is Smile in Your Face. Why? Because if you've seen this movie, and I'm not going to spoil this part of the movie, even though I'm sure we will verge on spoilers, okay, later, but there's a sequence in Osaka where I've never seen somebody. Size did not matter. It was skill, momentum, inertia, physics, and then she took this guy out in such a way to debilitate him and then put him down. And she was breathing heavy throughout it because she had to work for that kill. It didn't mean that she was not skilled, but it was a great sequence. If you know the song, which my name references, you'll get where I'm going. MVP of this movie. I don't care what anybody says. The tracker on this show, sir, you're absolutely correct. This movie got it right, and it is better than The Matrix. Here's why, in my opinion, of course. Because each successive film is better than the last. That's why you make a sequel. That is the rule of a sequel. If you're going to go back to a blockbuster, if you're going to go back to a great hit, you better make it bigger and you better make it better than the last film. The reason why The Matrix failed, in my opinion, it was just about better visuals. And that a movie does not make. Each of these films continues with
Took them too damn long to make a sequel, too.
Huh?
Took them too damn long to make a sequel for The Matrix 2. It took them like 10 years. That ruined any momentum that movie had. But go ahead.
Well, in this one, each movie continues the lore of the world building. Each movie, it continues and builds upon the action that we've seen. It adds more things to it. Just like the original Matrix, for Western audiences, I'll say, at least for myself, you see things in this movie that you never thought you'd see before in an action film. They're bringing back, it's like the Expendables with energy. Okay? I don't say that with disrespect, but this one, people move smoothly. There was a fluidity of motion. It was fantastic. Can I go on to close my portion out with what is tense in this movie? Here we go. The hourglass opening, tense. The tracker appearing at the Continental in Osaka, tense. Yeah. The Osaka battle, tense. Berlin nightclub, tense.
Woo!
Okay. The renovated house in Paris, tense. The race to the church, tense. That was a movie all in its own. That would have been an action climax of an entirely other movie all in its own. Just that one sequence. Okay. The last third of this movie. The longest staircase in the world sequence.
The world.
Tense. Vic brought it up. The final duel. Tense. This movie is an action movie. It is part of an action franchise. And even though we may see him in a prequel, and I hope in a sequel, virgin on spoilers, okay? If this is the for real end that we ever get to see John Wick, did this movie not give you everything that you wanted? And to quote Maximus Decimus Meridius, okay? Are you not satisfied? Are you not pleased? It gave you everything you wanted.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? I stayed glued. You ever get mad when you gotta pee in a good movie? And you be like, I ain't going.
I refused.
I stayed in this movie and had to pee. And then you get mad, right? Because you're a grown-ass man and you pee before you go, right? Because you know you're going to, let me go get this out the way. And you're sitting there, you're like, damn, it's going to slow down yet? Just sitting there holding yourself. Listen, I can't say anything else you guys didn't say, but I'm going to say to me the MVP, since you brought up the title, it's the tracker to me. It's just something I always bet on black, okay? This man with this dog, okay, I like Halle Berry's character had in 3, and he would just go nuts, and the dog would go, like, this dog was a character in the movie. And then how him and John come together because John saves his dog, and he just feels like I'm obligated now to give John back this, that's my best friend, a man's best friend. We know that really humans are dogs' best friends, but that's another story for another show. But the action, and I pick on people. I had a friend of mine said, man, I saw John Wick. This ain't nothing against nobody. I'm being honest. My friend said, man, it's on the site. I said, I ain't watching it like that. And I'm watching this Berlin, and then I'm going to get accused of this because here it come. One of the greatest fight scenes I've ever seen in my life was the Paris Circle scene with them damn cars. And when that car flipped that dude, and John was still pop, 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 and shot that man in the head 4 or 5 times while he was flipping in the air. No, just the scenes in that movie. You brought up the Berlin dance scene with the big bull, right? Like Kingpin. Like, damn, that dude fell on his head. You talking about a movie getting better and better and better as it goes on. John Wick does that. I just can't say I'm just happy for you guys of the ending. I'm sorry. I spent 4 long episodes of a movie, of a TV show, okay? And damn it, he already said it, okay? Damn it, I spent through all this. That man went up them stairs, and you said, when he got knocked back there, you said, damn, he got to do that again? He got back up there a second time. Boom, got knocked down again. You talk about, like, I watched the challenge shows. Check out the challenge show here on Unpop Review as well. Entertainment. They had this thing in China. Them steps was crazy. Okay, you got a fight going up these damn stairs. You got people with knives and guns and it's just typical, insane. Don't watch this movie for the dialogue. I made fun of it last week. I know I did. I said I can do what they do because this director is just the man. Okay, this director had done things. I'm with you guys. I'm not going to say, I will say it's better than The Matrix as a series. Matrix 1 to me still stands out because it just was before its time. Okay, but it's a series. John Wick delivered on everything you can ask for a blockbuster, for a sequel, coming back. But that freaking ending, I'm sorry. He sat there after, what's my man? What's his guy?
Kane.
What's his name?
Kane.
No, Marquise Vincent, the villain, punk ass.
Yes.
Okay, and I gotta say this before I move on. Shout out to Warriors. Come out and play.
No.
They put the record scene on, and she was like, "Hey, John, they coming to get you, guys." Like, if you watch Warriors, you know what I'm talking about. When they put that in the movie, I said, "Oh, this shit is crazy." Like, but I'm sorry, guys. He did all this work to fucking croak. Okay?
I don't believe
I think
listen, this ain't Marvel. I'm sorry, Checker. I actually stayed to after the credits. I just could not believe that this went through all this to die. And then especially how it sets up at the end, how it happened. And we'll talk about that in a second. We'll talk about the ending, final thoughts, favorite quotes, things like that. We've already said that, not thumbs up, thumbs down. We'll be right back here, y'all. We got Unpop Review Entertainment all this week. And let's continue with our Spike Lee month as we pay homage to Spike Lee. And also our new franchise. We voted today. And oh, yes, we ain't got to sit through 9 Fast and the Furiouses, which I do like them all except for 9. Maybe 2. All right. No, just 9. Just hated 9. But I ain't got to sit through them. But we're going to sit through this one, guys. We'll be right back.
Yeah! I love being a turtle!
Our family grows. The city itself will be our playground to use as we please. Rewarding ourselves and punishing our enemies.
We've been looking for you, Miss O'Neill.
There is a new enemy, freaks of nature. Together, we will punish these creatures.
What the heck was that?
Looked like sort of a big turtle in a trench coat.
I know how to increase your cash flow.
Have you lost your damn mind?
Willing to pay $10,000 each. Sold.
Knocking up a bunch of lesbians? That's some freaky shit.
You are a cash cow.
What's this I hear about you making babies?
I'm gonna do it. Go ahead, make me a baby.
Whoa. She hate me.
She hate me. She doesn't feel that way about you, though, man. She told me so.
This is Papa Doc, okay? Tell all them suckers 303 they some ass, okay? But no, we're gonna check out Anthony Mackie and that Spike Lee joint right there, and also our new franchise month coming back next month. Turtles. I know if you don't know, there is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated movie coming out this summer. I cannot wait for it. I love the cast. John Cena's in this movie, amongst other greats. Issa Rae's in this movie. Cannot wait to talk about that. But tonight we're talking about Chapter 4 of Jonathan Wick, and I will say this much to start right here. Biggest surprise to me in the movie, and maybe it wasn't for you smiling in my face, but Winston, when he said son, is Jonathan his son? That's what I got from that.
I think I think John's wife is Winston's daughter.
Okay.
And that's why
he said son, so like son-in-law.
Yeah.
Okay, because when he said son, rest easy son.
And that's why he's not dead, because remember the dog at the end, the dog looks away at the cemetery.
Yes.
As if it smells him and he's away. The only way they would let him
good way to be directing
in peace is if everybody believes he's dead. So they go through the whole thing, and that was the deal. And Winston didn't know that.
I would say just on that point, I think, like I said earlier, it's a great place to end his character arc. I think the persona of John Wick needs to die. It doesn't mean John the husband, because there was a lot in the series about him going back to being a good man and a good person. Before this movie series started, John Wick was married, had a wife, a home, everything that he did to kind of separate himself from the life of, from the life that he was leading before that period of time. And all the work that he did throughout these 4 films was to get back to that life, to get back to his wife, and I think that doing that, like, you have a moment where you have to kill off that persona. You have to. It's amazing. I loved it. I love the way that they did this movie. Because there's so many ways you could take it.
No,
John is actually physically dead.
Yeah.
Or you can take it as, hey, he's not dead. It's more of the persona.
Yeah, like he's
dead, and John is somewhere else living.
How did he die? Like they didn't really show.
He got shot.
Well, we saw the shot. Donnie shot him. But here's the thing about that, and that's where I'm mad at myself because I always pat myself on the back for being such a great, a studio production major and pointing things out. I always look at directors like I'm rewatching The Wire. You can see that old Bull was finna kill Omar. If you haven't seen The Wire, they clearly showed he was going to do him in, right? So you're right. The dog, that's a sign. The dog turns away, which that means he's sensing something else. Are you? Hey, shut up. Why are you here? Okay. And that's I am a writer. I got books coming out. I do everything. Okay. It's Mike Knock for 3X's. If you don't believe me, X that whore that you dated. That's why the name is there. But we're talking about Jonathan Wick 4 now. If we can be serious for a moment. Okay. She threw me off now too. Like, and everybody talking about the suit, the bulletproof suit. You see how he's blocking. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't that come from Kingsman? Didn't Kingsman introduce that first, as far as bulletproof suits? Have you ever seen the Kingsman franchise?
Yeah, I think it's Kingsman that introduced the concept of it first. But I think this movie perfected it. I actually really like how they use the suits in this movie. I actually wanted to talk about the suits. Well, 3 things in life that I love are good suits and good watches. This movie has literally all of that, and I think finding a new way to incorporate that, especially with your main villain, who is probably the most stylish guy in the entire franchise. Just loved it. It was incredible. Shout out to Bill Skarsgård because he is incredible as Pennywise in It. He's incredible here. This man does not miss.
Oh, that's Pennywise.
Yeah, he literally is Pennywise.
Yeah, I thought he played a really, really good villain. He really did play a good. Because a good villain is somebody who makes you hate them.
Exactly.
Right.
And Continental, that did it for me.
Oh, but not just blowing up the Continental did it, but just you sit there, you hire, you got all these rules. We're gonna meet at sundown, right? And this where the movie really kicks into high gear to me. It's sundown. We're gonna meet at sundown, a duel to the death. But you got to make it sundown first. So I'm gonna send everybody after you. Okay.
It got up to 40 million, no?
Yeah, it went from 20 million. Well, it started off at 5.
Yeah.
Right? And John Wick 1 to 40 mil.
Yep.
To get him.
It was crazy.
My favorite scenes in this movie, and I go to Smile on Your Face. My man Kane's, I'm looking like, what is he setting these things up? Right? Because he's blind. And you're like, maybe it's going to be some kind of explosions. No, they were motion sensors. So when they went past the beep, beep, he just started carrying cats up, right? And then the scene where they're still in the hotel scene, and they shoot the arrow, and the bulletproof dude's leg is caught, right? And while he's hanging upside down, John is still just unloading on him. Pop, pop, pop. Like, the scenes in this film just outdoes it. The flipping of the car scenes, like if you want an action film, we talk about it all the time. This is that movie for you. Smile on Your Face. What's some of your favorite parts of this film?
Listen, I've already talked about the staircase, climb in Osaka. That was just brilliant. When she takes off her kimono and she's already dressed for battle, I was in the movie theater, but I said, where's the Lucerne at? Where's the Jergens at? Because it needs to be brought up. It was absolutely fantastic. If you've seen that sequence, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. She earned every bit of my sweat, okay? I loved it. When her father dueled with Kane, you could tell that there was a friendship. We've never seen these two before in this world, and yet you believe it. The acting is great, but the storytelling, the writing of it, the script is so concise that you believe every minute of it. We've never seen the tracker before, but we believe when we see that notebook that he has, that journal, and he's been documenting all these things, we believe that he would be able to find out where these people are. He's good at his job. We don't have to have a prequel, aka the MCU. We don't need to see his individual movie to know and believe that he's good at what he does. The writing can be good in one film only, right? To go back to what we talked about, the staircase in The Last Duel in Paris, which is a great title for a film in and of itself, right? It was also telegraphed because, remember, John says something to Kane going back in, again, an adventure that we were not privy to and we're not privy to now, right? And so Kane knew to shoot him in the side where he would look like he had tried to kill him, but John would still be able to function. Hence why the Marquis, okay, when he comes over and thinks that he wants the honor of finishing him off, he doesn't even realize John never even shot it. But me, having watched these films, noticed John never shot that gun.
Yeah.
Okay, so I knew that there was one in the chamber ready for the marquee. But anyway, that's how you know. Again, it's another one of these telegraph signs, which Mike, you were talking about, that the director puts in and they pepper in a good film, right? That you pepper in throughout, so that it's not like, oh, oops, here we go. No, that should have been all throughout the movie. Yeah, it should have been all throughout the movie. There's an old filmmaking rule back when most films were shot on film, since film was so expensive. You never put anything in frame that's not useful. And only a director who is like top of the line in the golden age of Hollywood could get away with just showing something for no reason, sweat on a glass, right? But typically you don't show something if it doesn't have any meaning. Okay? You'll notice that. And that's why if you look at good films, they don't waste any frame of camera on camera, right? And so in this movie, you have it peppered throughout what's actually happening. And the last tease is when that dog turns around. Because we've never seen the dog respond to ghosts, and there are ghosts everywhere in this world, I would imagine, right? So clearly John is not a ghost. He knew where he was, and he was right there, and they were reunited at some point. But for anybody watching, it had to be that the legend has died, so they can leave him alone. And we've seen this on DBZ as well, where the world's not safe. Somebody's always going to try and challenge me as long as I'm here. Gohan, you can do it. You can defeat Cell, right? This movie had everything in it that you wanted, everything. And if they come out with a John Wick 5, I'm there open at night. I don't care if my bladder is destroyed. I'm not leaving that seat.
I love how Smile on Your Face mentioned Dragon Ball Z. I feel like that's such a great reference in terms of like the reason why I like the end, because like you said, Goku is constantly fighting battles. Goku's my favorite character in Dragon Ball Z, just in case you guys don't know that. And I get tired of seeing him win all the time. I like when I see him lose. I like when I see Akira Toriyama actually put a storyline where Goku goes out of the picture and you pass the mantle to somebody else. And with Akira, she is the perfect person to pass this mantle to. Put the spoiler thing up because I'm going to talk a spoiler just for a second. The end of the movie, the end credit scene, she comes back to Donnie Yen's character and she's about to mess him up for killing her father. So that is our potential spinoff.
Well, I think they were talking about the Kane spinoff.
Exactly.
Anyway, because his performance was so strong in his film. His character was just so strong. I think every character, honestly, that stepped on scene, whether it was Cozy's character, Akira's father, character, just everybody to me, even the big dude that you kept thinking like, damn, he ain't dead yet. Like how many times is this? I could have sworn like John. Remember everybody say the movie Eraser?
Mm-hmm.
Here it is, Chris. Ready? I thought that was the greatest gun ever made. Until I want whatever gun they had that he was shooting and they were getting on fire. He was shooting and they were shooting, and then the scene at the top, right? This is when you say the director's dope about the hell they're doing. They're showing the top, like a top scene, and you just walk like you're looking at a housing diagram and you're gonna go rent out, and you just walk into the and you just poof on fire, boom, and he's killing them and they're on fire at the same time. Like, what gun was that?
The only time we've seen something like that is in Minority Report, to my knowledge, when they do the aerial shot when Tom Cruise has the eye surgery. But again, that was a slow tracking shot. But this one was so fluid; it was as if somebody was flying with the camera over there. It was that drone technology on him. It was incredible.
I want to say it's more than the drone in this one. It probably is a drone. Honestly, it probably is. But
I loved it.
Whatever it was, however he shot this,
fluid. Like I mean, it had to be on a.
They were referencing a video game. I forgot the name of the video game. I watched a documentary about the movie, and they were referencing an old classic video game that used to do those type of shots where they're above frame and they're looking down at the character moving through all the rooms.
That's how my favorite Spider-Man game is like that.
UPRE was like that. I felt like
X-Men Alliance. Is that what it's called? Like the Alliance, X-Men John.
I don't
like
think X-Men Alliance, but they're like.
There's a Marvel Alliance. I'm sorry, not X-Men Alliance. Marvel Alliance game is like that, where it has the top view.
Yeah.
It's like playing Contra, if you will, so to speak. Up, down, left, right, BA, select star. Slick, your favorite parts of this movie before we get up out of here, man, with our final thoughts or a thumbs up, which I think everybody's going to put a thumb up anyway. But
I felt very GTA 1, GTA 2.
I can't play those games. I wasn't allowed. There was so much violence and sex. But I played Mafia 3.
That whole over the top thing, and then like they try to recreate it with GTA Chinatown Wars, when you're just like over the top like that. that was interesting how they showed that, because it really felt like that. Now, clearly, it was a good time. There's so many things to say, you know. Like, the funny part was when he looked like Johnny Cage's luggage falling down the stage. That was just hilarious. You know, how he just kept fighting and going down. And then Kane comes, he's like, yo, I need you to get to the top of it.
Yeah. He went from the top all the way. And you're watching it, right, Slick? You're sitting there saying, he's not going to go all the way to the bottom, right? And he went. and then come the big dude just slides down the joint, right? He just slides down the stairs. You're like, what the hell?
Every time, no, but the greatest thing about this is just that even with all those obstacles, we were just like, all right, how's he gonna get out of this one? How's he gonna get out of this? How's he gonna get out of that? You know, but you know, like everybody pretty much was saying, I think that the legend of Baba Yaga has to go away. But then at the same time, him being dead could just make him a much better assassin, because nobody's gonna see him coming. You know what I mean? So, and like, I personally, I really like the series of Assassin's Creed. And I kind of wish that it was like the game was like this.
They could that movie was not good as it could have been to me.
I wish that it was like this.
How you like the Swan Song? Or this was Lance Reddick's last movie. And it's sad because, like I said, I'm rewatching The Wire now. You know, Commissioner Daniels, Major Daniels, whatever you want to call him. And there, I knew him before. You know, a lot of people know him through John Wick, but he's been in so many good movies. And he died so early in the film as well. As you said, the Continental being blown up was insane and things like that. So I'll just say it right here, right now. Thumbs up for me. Anybody disagree with this movie? Anybody give this movie a thumbs down? We know the executive consultant's not here, so this is a stretch. We know there should be 4 thumbs up here. I'm thinking. Smile on your face? No, jeez. You didn't even watch the damn movie.
He didn't. He really didn't.
Oh, sorry. I was laughing at the executive consultant behind the curtain there. He's making faces backstage. Listen, I want to say thumbs down because I want 2 more of these movies. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with this movie at all. I'm sure if I nitpick, I can find something. I didn't even talk about Kane, played by Donnie Yen, when he does the Ip Man punch in the kitchen on dude. It was giving you everything that you wanted to get. This, like I said, bring out the lotion because you're gonna need it. Okay, this movie was a dream. If you love action, I want to see people shot up. I want to see people get tore up.
If you love action movies, yeah. Shout out to my wife. Always says when it came to Justice League Snyder Cut, her words is he pulled his dick on the table. And that's how that, like, because it was such a good film, and I always go, it was, but God, we know he cheated, right? Because he could make up for all the mistakes that was made in the other films to fix this one. They didn't do this. This is just straight out, here it is. And you talk about action movies at its finest. I think this has set the bar for action movies. It used to be The Matrix maybe years ago, and I always tell people, and you mentioned earlier as well, and so did you, Tracker. To me, Blade 2 came out before Matrix 2 and was better in special effects. And every special effects that Blade 2 did, the Matrix copied with the bending of the people and things like that. So just a good time by all. Any final thoughts here on the movie, Slick? Because I know you gave it a thumbs up already. I know you. I know. I know you. That's why I left it there. And this guy wore a whole suit to the event. So we know he got thumbs up from the beginning from him. And damn it, unless it's, I can't believe last night, if you have not seen it, go back and watch the movie review for Power Rangers Once and Always. And I can't believe that he gave this entertainment. He said that movie was better than the Batman. That's how you know, as much as we love you guys in this program and we love the executive consultant, he has no idea what the F he's talking about, y'all. So listen, we're going to get out of here, y'all. We thank you guys for watching. Like, follow, subscribe. This John Wick 4, Chapter 4, that is.
The end of beginning.
That was foul.
You almost had me hub on. I know that's what you were trying to do, but that's fine. Get me out of here. I'm not on this.
I thought you wanted to say something.
Yeah, you might as well.
Peace.